Good morning! It's time for some retail arbitrage on this Black Friday. Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is MOGIBETH, and for those of y'all who are new here, I own a six-figure reselling business selling primarily women's clothing on places like Poshmark and eBay. I am currently in line for Starbucks because I am on my way to Nordstrom Rack. Today is Black Friday, which means I'm going to be doing some retail arbitrage and bringing y'all along. I'm so excited. I'm probably going to be a little late. It's 7:47 and they open at 8 and I'm in Starbucks line of the drive-thru. So we'll get there when we get there, but I'm really excited to see if I can find some good things to make some money on online. And if you guys aren't familiar with retail arbitrage, I've done a video on it, which I'll link up on the screen. I also talk about it a lot in my newsletter, so if you haven't subscribed to that, head over to mogibeth.com and you can sign up. But yeah, I'm gonna grab a drink, grab some breakfast, and then we're gonna head on into Nordstrom Rack, and I'm gonna bring y'all along with me and then also do a haul. All right, I'll see y'all in there. All right, y'all, I thought I'd do a little voiceover for the first part of this retail arbitrage with me. As I said in my newsletter that went out days before, on Monday before Black Friday, I beelined it for the shoes because shoes were a category that I had really a lot of luck with in 2019. I was able to pick up a lot of boots in 2019 and sell them for a really good profit and actually sell them fairly quickly. But unfortunately this year there just weren't that many boots in the shoe section, so I kind of had to change up my strategy in terms of what I was looking for. So I considered things like these house slippers, and then I started thinking, okay, maybe I will pick up sandals for spring. We're going into spring, and maybe I will pick up some sneakers. So that's really kind of what I focused on. I skipped the heels for the most part, picking up potentially one, but really focused on sneakers and sandals. At the first location, I had some luck with shoes. As you can see here, I actually found a pair of Vionics, but I ended up putting this pair back. Did get some Vionics though, which you'll see in the haul later. I got a few pairs of shoes here, but I actually had a lot of luck with shoes at the second location, which you will see in the haul. So I wanted to share with you how I decided whether to pick something up or not. So as you can see, I went to my calculator, put in the price, typed in 0.6 because that's taking 40% off. That gave me the price I was going to pay. Then I looked at my profit margin table, and this is something I sent out in my newsletter, but I'll also put it down in the description below. It is something we talked about in the profit versus profit margin video, and it basically is a table that tells me if I'm paying this much and I want this profit margin, which I was looking for a 40% profit margin, how much do I have to sell it for? And that's really kind of how I determined whether or not something would be worth selling. Then I would check comps like you saw me do in that screenshot. So I headed over to denim next. Shoes and denim are my two favorites. And there were a lot of duplicates, like those Madewell shorts. There were a ton of them. And even though they were priced pretty well, I decided to skip because there were just so many of them. And like I said in my retail arbitrage video, that is kind of a red flag to me. There was also a ton of Joe's jeans that I skipped for that reason as well. After jeans, I headed over to the designer section. And this is a really fun section, and where I actually found some stuff. Some Nordstrom Racks have this section, some don't. Like the second location I went to actually didn't have a designer section, but I think it's really convenient when they do, because a lot of these brands are going to be really good performers on the resale marketplace. But oftentimes, at least in this case, they were just marked too high still in order to resell. So brands like The Great or Veronica Beard, I would have loved to pick up, but they were just priced too high still. So after that, I was on the search for dresses. I was like looking everywhere for it, couldn't find it, and it was just tucked away in this corner, and there was like one rack for clearance dresses. And so I went through there. I actually found a few that I was excited to check comps on. One being the City Chic dress, which you'll actually see later on in the haul. This wedding gown, I'm assuming, was by Aina by McDougal, which is a really great brand. Talk about it in my formal wear video, and but it had some staining on it that I couldn't get out. So this is another dress, another brand I even talked about in that video, Adriana Papel. This is what my cart looked like before, and after checking comps, it looked like this. So I put a good amount back. Okay, well, I had some success at that Nordstrom rack. There definitely weren't as many clearance racks this year as there were 2 years ago. Like, there was one little dresses rack, not a lot of shoes. I mean, there just wasn't a lot of clearance things, but I still was able to find some good stuff, so that's good. I do want to go to one more real quick. I'm not going to spend hopefully as much time in it, just because it should be a little bit more picked over, but I want to run by there and just check out jeans. Especially, I feel like I had some good luck in the denim section and the designer section and the dresses section and the shoes. Okay, so let's head on over there and see if we can score some good retail arbitrage deals. All right. Alright, finished up at Nordstrom rack number 2 and had actually a lot more success with the shoes. In this one, not as much success in the denim, so I'm excited to show you what I found in the haul. I found some really good stuff, dropped some serious money, and ready to have some good retail arbitrage flips, so I'll see you at the haul. Okay, now it is time for the haul, and I actually picked up 33 pieces in total. I picked up 17 from the first Nordstrom rack and 16 from the second Nordstrom rack. I'm gonna go over everything with you. I'm gonna share my cost of goods, and I'm gonna share my expected sales price, my expected profit, and my expected profit margin, as I typically do with these hauls. I also wanted to share basically how I came to the decision to purchase this or not. I'm gonna link down below the profit margin chart that I used, you probably saw in the Thrift With Me portion. I sent that out in my newsletter, so if you haven't subscribed to my newsletter, I'll link that down below as well, or check your inbox if you do receive my newsletter, but it'll also be linked down below. But basically what it does is it tells you, okay, if you have a profit margin that you're expecting to make, then what do you need to sell this item for based off of your cost of goods? And I think this is really important for retail arbitrage, just because retail arbitrage is such a risky sourcing strategy. It's really good to have some parameters for what you will buy and won't buy. And for retail arbitrage, profit margin is actually really helpful, just because your cost of goods is going to be so high. So for me, I chose a 40% profit margin, which I think is pretty good for retail arbitrage. For something like sourcing at the bins, it would be really bad. But for retail arbitrage, I think 40% is a pretty good profit margin. So I'm going to share also what I would have to make in order to hit that 40% profit margin. So, all right, I've got a ton of shoes, good amount of clothes. So I'm gonna start with stop number 1, and we'll start with shoes. Okay, so the first pair of shoes that I picked up is from a brand that I love selling, and I actually got 2 shoes by this brand, and it is Vionic. Logo is kind of covered by the sticker because this is actually a wide size. This is a 9W, and they had it priced at $27.97, but with the 40% off, I got them for $16.78. In order to attain that 40% profit margin goal, I'd have to sell them for $41.95. But after checking comps, which I did for every single item I purchased, my expected sales price is $45, with an expected profit of $19.22 and an expected profit margin of 42.71%. So not too bad. We'll see how these do. They might do better in the spring, since they are sandals, but spring will be here before we know it. Okay, so the next is another pair of Vionic sandals. I can show you the logo on this one. These are a size 8. They've got a really chunky platform, a metallic upper, really cute slide sandal. They're called the Vionic Brandy sandal, and they wanted $34.97 in clearance, but with 40% off, they came out to $20.98. With that 40% profit margin goal, I'd have to sell them for $52.45. And when I checked comps, that seemed doable. So my expected sales price is $55, with an expected profit of $23.02 and an expected profit margin of 41.85%. And both of these shoes I could see selling for a little bit more or a little bit less. We'll just see. Vionic is something that, especially new, can sell pretty well, but it is really style dependent. So because these are new styles, there wasn't a ton of data on them, but we'll see. Okay, the next brand is actually one that I have covered in my Bolo brand of the day over on Instagram, which if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do. We share a Bolo brand every single day, Monday through Friday, on our stories. And the brand is Beak, and this is a leather sandal primarily company. It smells really good. It smells like really good leather. It's a brand that's often sold at Anthropologie and other kind of high-end retailers, and they can actually resell for a lot of money. These retail for I think around $180, but they really retain their value, and since these are brand new, I think they'll do really well. Additionally, they're my size. They're size 9. And like a lot of these shoes are size 9, so I'm tempted to keep them. I'll probably try a couple of them on because these are really cute sandals. You've just got a leather crisscross strap, and they're just a really nice slide. and they're really pretty cognac brown color. They're called the Palila sandals, and I actually did pay up for them. They wanted $52.97 within clearance, but with the 40% discount, I was able to get them for $31.78, which is still pretty high. But then after checking comps, I thought, okay, I think actually I'm gonna try this out and try to get good money for these, especially going into spring. So in order to get that 40% profit margin, I would have to sell them for $79.45. I actually think I can sell them for at least $85, potentially more since they're brand new, and they're still available online, you know, on their website for around 180 bucks. So I wouldn't be surprised actually if I was able to sell them for around $100, but we'll see. If I sold them for 85, my expected profit would be $36.22 with an expected profit margin of 42.61%. And sometimes I get questions in the comments section asking how am I calculating profit and profit margin, and I just want to link up a video I've done before. It's a pretty quick video, I think. It's really informative. Just goes over profit and profit margin, and I think it's really informative and helpful for all resellers. Okay, so one more shoe from this stop. This shoe I really could have taken or passed on. It's a brand I really like selling, but the style, there were only 2 comps. One had sold for like 20 bucks, which wasn't great, and then one was listed for like 150 bucks. So I think the 20 bucks was pretty low, but I got these for such a good price that I thought, let's just go ahead and try it out, especially if I can get them listed before New Year's. So the brand is Schutz. Do you see that? And I actually bought another pair at the next store by this brand. They wanted $20.98, and there's some sticker residue on there, but we can get that off with Goo Gone. And I mean, these retail for $225. And I'm marked down to $20.98. So with that 40% discount, I got them for $12.59, which is cheaper than what I could get them at, you know, Goodwill here. So I thought, okay, let's just go ahead and try it. In order to attain that 40% profit margin, I have to sell them for $31.48. I think I should be able to sell them for 50 bucks. They are really, really cute. So they're this black glitter insole with this metallic purple, just really skinny strap, which is very in, this little kitten heel, which is cute, and then that metallic purple ankle strap. And I don't know, I think they're just really darling shoes for a night out on the town. They won't kill your feet since they're not, you know, 4 inches tall. But anyways, I think I could sell them for $50, and my expected profit in that case would be $27.41, and my expected profit margin would be 54.82%. So that's the highest expected profit margin thus far, and it's because I was able to get them for such a good deal. We will see. They're called the Schutz Celestine sandal, in case you want to check them out for yourself. Okay, so on to clothes. I actually picked up 2 of these bad boys, and this is another piece I was really on the fence about because I kind of paid more for them than I would have liked. But I actually have sold these leggings before. I had a ton of them in the color white that did really well, and so I decided, you know, even if I do a little bit less than 40% profit margin, I still think these will be worth it. And especially going into, you know, the new year. This is the brand Aloe. Maybe my favorite athletic wear brand to sell. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite is. And these are the high waist vapor legging, and they're in this camo print. Really cute. I got 2 of these in a size small. They were marked down to $49.97. So with that 40% off, I was able to get them each for $29.98, which is still pretty high, like I said. So in order to hit that 40% profit margin, I'd have to sell them for $74.95, which in my experience isn't unreasonable. I've sold those leggings for as high as $90. And if I sold them on eBay, actually that 40% profit margin could potentially be lower. But my expected sales price for these is 80 bucks with an expected profit of $34.02 and an expected profit margin of 42.53%. But we will see. I'd probably be willing to accept a little bit less if they weren't moving. I just have to wait and see, especially if we go through January and they haven't sold. Okay, I actually picked up a fair amount of this brand. I think I picked up 3 pieces by this brand, and it's because this is a brand that really has not, in my opinion, declined in popularity, especially newer pieces. And I also have a hard time finding this brand. The brand is Reformation, which I'll try to show you, but that tag is kind of crumpling it. Here's the new with tag. This is called the Yara dress, and it is a one shoulder kind of stretch cotton dress, mini dress, in a really pretty green color, perfect for the holidays. This is a size extra large, and it was on clearance for $30.73, which with that 40% off, I was able to get it for $18.44. So if I wanted to hit that 40% profit margin, I'd have to sell it for $46.10, and I think I should be able to sell it for at least around $50, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, we'll see. If I sold it for $50, that would leave me with an expected profit of $21.56 and an expected profit margin of 43.12%. So not too bad. We will see how that does. This is a dress that actually I couldn't find any comps on. It's still available in store. I felt like I was really lucky to find this dress. I got it for a really good price, and I actually really love selling this brand, Dress the Population. I have a lot of good luck selling this brand. It is a formal wear brand of dresses. It's oftentimes purchased for events, cocktail parties, etc. They also have wedding dresses, and this is a little knee length or midi length sheath dress with this lace overlay, which is really, really pretty. I think this would be perfect for a, you know, rehearsal dinner or a bachelorette party or a bridal shower, something like that. And this is a size extra large. They had it marked down to $25.99, which is a really good deal for this dress. And so with 40% off, I was able to get it for $15.59, which is great. And so in order to hit my profit margin goal, I'd have to sell it for $38.98. Based on my experience, I actually think I'm going to be able to sell this dress for $70, which would leave me with an expected profit of $40.41 and an expected profit margin of 57.73%. So actually when I saw that, I was like, this is a home run. I'm definitely getting this dress. And especially since it's such a new style, there aren't any comps, and I think it's, if I put the right keywords in the listing, it'll do really, really well. Here is another formal wear dress. Two categories that I've been loving this year to sell is formal wear and maternity wear. And I did a whole video on formal wear Bolo brands that I'll link up on the screen in case you missed it. But this is a really pretty embroidered jersey gown with this lace detail on top. And the brand is Adriana Papel. This is a size 10. And okay, so I look for oftentimes this tag. It says altered or refinished. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look, you know, at the hem and see, do we think this has been altered? And then we'll just include measurements, and we may make a note saying if we think it's been altered, this garment could have been altered. Please review measurements. And typically these kind of dresses will still sell, especially people who would need to get it altered anyway. So they had it priced down to $42.97, and with that 40% discount, I was able to get it for $25.78, which for a new tag Adriana Papel dress, I was very happy with. If I wanted to hit my 40% profit margin goal, I'd have to sell it for $64.45. But I actually think I'll be able to sell this dress for $100. We'll see. It always can take a while to find the right buyer with formal wear, and the price, obviously, with all of these pieces isn't guaranteed, but I think this dress is just perfect for a mother of the bride or a wedding guest attendant. And there's still so many weddings that have been backlogged that they're happening a lot these days. So my expected profit if I sold it for $100 would be $54.22 with an expected profit margin of 54.22%. Okay, the next piece is by a brand that can do really well or it can sit for a long time, but I just love this piece and I wanted to try it out. And I've actually had overall a good experience with this brand, especially newer pieces. The brand is Black Halo. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all think about this brand. But this is called the Cohen jumpsuit. Really pretty navy blue jumpsuit with long sleeves. Got this really cute like slit detail on the wrists and on the ankles, and then it has a pretty mock neck. This would just be really nice for work, it'd be nice for an event, and it retails for $390. They had it priced down to $54.39, And so with the 40% discount, I was able to get it for $32.63. And so in order to hit my profit margin goal, I'd have to sell it for $81.58. But I actually think I should be able to sell it potentially. I couldn't find any direct comps, so this is my best guesstimate for $125. And that would leave me with an expected profit of $67.37 and an expected profit margin of 53.9%. So if I can sell this piece how I expect to, I think it will do really, really well. All right, one more dress. I bought a lot of navy or midnight blue dresses at this Nordstrom Rack, but this is a brand I love selling. I covered it in my 10 bread and butter brand video, and it is City Chic. This is a size small or a size 16, and this is called the So Swish Maxi Dress. With dresses like these, I have really, really good luck selling them. It's got some draping and some pleating on the front, which is really flattering. And it's called the City Chic So Swish Maxi Dress. They were wanting $39.97 for it on clearance, but with that 40% discount, I was able to get it for $23.98, which means with that 40% profit margin goal, I would have to sell it for $59.95, which in my experience was very doable, so I went ahead and picked it up. And in fact, my expected sales price for this dress is $70, which would leave me with an expected profit of $32.02 and a expected profit margin of 45.74%. Okay, moving on to jeans. I actually found, 4 pairs of jeans this time around, which is great. These were marked up pretty high, so I was kind of on the fence of whether I want to pick them up or not. This is a brand that just does really well. It really retains its resale value, and the brand is Redone. These are called the 90s high-rise ankle crop. Really, I love this wash. It's a light wash, but it's not too faded, you know. It's just a really, really pretty blue. Has some distressing on one knee, and it happens to be my size, although I won't be keeping these. Size 26, and they retail for $250. They had them marked down to $99.97, so pretty high still. But you know, with the 40% discount, I was able to get them for $59.98. Still pretty high, about 60 bucks for a brand new pair of jeans. No other brand would I really consider it. Maybe certain styles of Goldie, but not really. So I would need to sell it for $149.95 in order to hit that 40% profit margin. But I actually, based off comps, think it is potentially doable. It might be $140. But I put an expected sales price of $150. And this actually particular wash, I could only find one comp on Poshmark, and it had sold new at tag for $140. So that gave me hope. And since there are none other in that particular wash and it's a good size, I decided to go for it. So if I sold it for $150, I would have an expected profit of $60.02. and an expected profit margin of almost exactly 40% or 40.01%. Okay, this next piece I really paid probably too much for. This is a brand and a style that can do really, really well or can do okay. But I'm oftentimes just really surprised by this brand. Like all of a sudden it will sell for a really high dollar amount. I think there's a pretty wealthy, loyal customer base of this brand. I've talked about it a lot on my online arbitrage video, which I'll link up on the screen. Le Jante. And this is the Margot High Rise Skinny Jean, size 27. This is one of their signature styles. And this particular color is fairly new, and there weren't a lot of listings on Poshmark in this color. Actually, I don't know if there were any. So they had it marked down to $67.48, which is still pretty high. But these jeans retail for $250. So I was able to get them for $40.49. That means I would have to sell them for my 40% profit margin at $101.23. But I think that's fairly doable. I have an expected sales price of $100, so it's a little bit under that 40% profit margin goal. And it would leave me with an expected profit of $39.51 and an expected profit margin of 39.51%. So teeny bit under, and we'll see. Like again, I'm gonna price it higher than $100 obviously, and sometimes I'll just randomly get full price sales on this brand. Or it could sit for a long time and then I eventually sell it for less. We will see. However, this next pair I feel pretty confidently about just because This style by this brand has done really well when checking comps historically. So I love this brand of denim, Mother, and these have a really special heart detail on the back pocket. They are called the Super Stunner Ankle and Wash Double Vision. With that heart pocket, they're high rise, really cute, medium wash. These are a size 26 and they had them marked down in clearance for $67.46, which is actually a pretty good deal in and of itself. But with that 40% off, I was able to get them for $40.48. Which means, again, I would have to sell it around $100, $101.20, but I actually think these, based off comps, are going to sell for $150, which is great. And that would leave me with an expected profit of $79.52 and an expected profit margin of 53.01%. So very excited to see how these do. We will just have to wait and see. Okay, last pair of denim was kind of a no-brainer for me. Even though this is a style that isn't the best by this brand, they just had it marked down so low that I was like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick this up. Maybe my favorite denim brand to sell, maybe definitely a Goldie. I love a Goldie, I love wearing it, love selling it. This is a pair of white denim cut off. They do have a small stain on them, so I'm either gonna try to stain treat that or just list as is. Not sure. They are called the Nico High Rise in a size 32. Obviously white. They've got this button fly, just great. And again, this isn't the best performing style by this brand. I really love the pinch high waist denim by this brand, but there are a bunch of other styles that can do really well. They had it marked down to $27.99. So I was like, wow, okay. I will try it out, which means I got it for $16.79, which brand new attack Goldie, I would take it $16.79 all day long, but this means I would have to sell it for $41.98. I actually think I should be able to sell it for $80, might be a little bit less if I can't get that stain out, and it would give me an expected profit of $47.21 and an expected profit margin of 59.01%. So very, very happy with that. Last two pieces from this one Nordstrom rack. This was actually, here, I hung it on the hanger a little bit different, but this is a swimwear brand that I actually love selling. It is a one-piece, one-shoulder one-piece with a really pretty teal type color and this lace-up back detail. But this brand is called La Blanca. One pieces by La Blanca just do really, really well. And so when I saw this and I saw that it was marked down to $22.48 in clearance, which allowed me to buy it for $13.49, I definitely snagged it up. And in fact, this is called the Goddess one piece, and that particular style does really well. It's the Goddess one shoulder. It retailed for $99. Especially since we're going to spring, I'm actually really starting to focus more on swimwear now. I'm about to probably this month or next month list a bunch of swimwear, but at that price, in order to attain that 40% profit margin, I would have to sell it for $33.73. I think I should be able to sell it for at least 40 bucks, which would leave me with an expected profit of $18.51 and an expected profit margin of 46.28%. This is another swimwear brand that just does really well, especially certain pieces. I typically don't pick up just like single, bikini tops or bikini bottoms, but this was marked just down so low, and I know this brand does well, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. The brand is Becca, you can see it there, and they had it marked down to $5.99. So, it retails for $58. I got it for $3.59, which means I would have to sell it for $10.90 in order to make that 40% profit margin. But checking comps, I should be able to sell this for 25 bucks actually, which is great. It's a size small. It's this ruched bikini bottom. It's actually called the Black Magic Patent Bikini Bottoms. And since it's this black color, it should match with a bunch of different tops. And it's high rise, which is nice. But that $25 sales price would leave me with an expected profit of $16.41 and an expected profit margin of 65.64%. This is just so easy to list, so easy to store, so easy to ship. I love selling swimwear. Okay, now on to stop number 2. I picked up a ton of shoes at this one. So let's dive in. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pairs of shoes out of the 16 items I got. So half of it are shoes. So let's start here. These shoes I'm obsessed with. They're Madewell, and I actually got them in the box, which is nice. I can sell new with a box. These are called the Ruby Clog, and they're a size 8. If these were my size, I would 100% keep them. They're so cute. So cute. They're this really pretty cognac suede that's pebbled, really soft, smells great. And they had them marked down a lot. They retail for 188 bucks, and they had them down to 38.48. Madewell shoes, certain styles can do really, really well for me, but I was able to get those for $23.09, which is great. Those are my size, they'd be quite a deal. But with a 40% profit margin, I'd have to sell them for $57.73. But looking at comps, I should be able to get a whole lot more for that. So I plan on having an expected sales price of 100 bucks, especially since they're new in box. And that would leave me with an expected profit of 56 bucks and 91 cents, and expected profit margin of 56.91%. So very, very happy with those, but I actually found another pair of Madewell shoes. These aren't going to be as stellar of a performer, but I was actually surprised by checking comps that these should do pretty well. So these also, luckily, came in the box. These are called the Remy Mule in snake print, size 8.5. Really cute. Just a flat little mule in that embossed snake leather. Really, really, really cute. So they had these marked down to $29.96. See that? And so I snagged them for $17.98, which with my 40% profit margin goal, I'd have to sell them for $44.95, but I should be able to actually sell them for $50, which would leave me an expected profit of $22.02 and an expected profit margin of 44.04%. So yay, and these are really shoes you could wear all year round, which I own a bunch of Madewell loafers. I love them, and I actually really like their shoes. Okay, I decided to pick up a couple pairs of sandals just because, you know, we're going into spring soon and I don't have many sandals in my inventory. So the first one I picked up were these Steve Madden Marin sandals. They are so cute. They are this square toe, which is so in, really thick braided straps. Really, really, really cute. They are a size 7, and they had them marked down to $22.97, which means that I got them for $13.78. Steve Madden, they don't retail for a ton of money. These retail for $79.95, but certain styles, especially really cute styles like this, can actually do fairly well. And there weren't a ton of comps on the stock because it's actually fairly new, but this style is being sold on Revolve in a different color. I am hopeful that it will do well. So in order to attain my profit margin goal, I'd have to sell it for $34.45, but I think these will actually sell for $40, which would leave me with an expected profit of $18.22 and an expected profit margin of 45.55%. Okay, the other pair of sandals that I picked up are Sam Edelman, and they also have this thick kind of plush braided or knotted strap, which is really in, and these are size 7.5. They're called the Garçon sandal. They had them also listed for $22.97, so actually, you know, the exact same thing across the board. I got them for $13.78. We have to sell them for $34.45 to hit my profit margin goal. I actually similarly think I'm going to sell them with an expected sales price of $40, which would leave me an expected profit of $18.22 and expected profit margin of 45.55%. We'll see how these do. I love this color, and again, going into spring, I think it could potentially do really well, so we'll just have to wait and see. All right, I was so excited to find these. I actually just purchased my very first own personal pair of these shoes. These are Hoka One Ones. If you don't know about this brand, it is one of, you know, the most popular, fastest selling tennis shoe or sneaker brands out there right now. Another one is On Running, which I've covered in my Bolo Stories of the Day. But these are really lightweight. They're really, really comfortable shoes. And I couldn't believe they had them marked down so low. So these retailed for $115. They're my size. So again, I'm kind of tempted to keep these. I have a pair in black, but these gray ones are cute. And they had them marked down to $33.97 in clearance, which means I got them for $20.38, which is a great deal. I would have to sell them for $50.95 to make my profit margin goal, but I actually think I should be able to sell these. The style name is Hoka 11 Hupana Flow, and after checking comps, I think brand new, I should be able to sell them for $70, which would leave me an expected profit of $35.62 and an expected profit margin of 50.89%. So I was really excited to find these. I tried them on. Awesome find. Okay, these shoes are really funky. These are also by the brand Schutz, which I've had really good success selling this brand before. But these are some really cool thick platform sneakers with this cool zigzag detail. It's kind of got a green canvas with, you know, this orange leather trim. Cute. They're size 9.5. They're called the Gisela sneaker. And when I checked comps, I was actually surprised by how well they were doing. So I decided to pick them up. They had them marked down to $38.97, which means I got them for $23.38, which means that I'd have to sell them for $58.45. I should be able to sell them for $60 based off checking comps, and that would leave me with an expected profit of $24.62 and an expected profit margin of 41.03%. So I love these. They're so cool. They kind of feel really retro. Cute. Okay, so I did a little happy dance when I saw these. I actually did try these on because they're also my size, but decided to sell them. This is a brand I've only had the pleasure of selling one time before, but it is such an amazing selling brand. Retails for a lot of money. The brand is Jenny Kane. Jenni Kane. Kayne. There's the bottom of the shoe there. Some shoes by this brand can sell so fast. These are in excellent condition. I think they had them marked down only because it has this little flaw right here, which I should be able to remove with a magic eraser fairly easily. But they had them marked down to $48.97, which means I got them for $29.38. They're called the Sneaker Mule. This is genuine suede on the upper here. It's so soft. I was actually surprised it was genuine suede because it really is so soft. They wanted $48.97 for them, which means that I got them for $29.38, which means that with my 40% profit margin goal, I would have to sell them for $73.45, which for some shoes, that'd be a tall ask. But with these shoes, I have an expected sales price of $100, and I think actually they could sell for more. We'll see. Last time I listed Jenny Kane, I think it sold the same day or next day, and it was also a Nordstrom rack retail arbitrage purchase. But if I sold it for $100, that would leave me with an expected profit of $50.62, which would be great, and an expected profit margin of 50.62%. So I was so happy to find these. Okay, almost done. We got two more pairs of sneakers. I might keep these. I know I said that for like all of them, but I might actually keep these. I was kind of on the fence of whether I should pick them up or not because they weren't marked down that low, but I just thought they were so cute. These are Sorel. And the sad thing about this year versus 2019 is they had like very few, at least in my neck of the woods, boots on clearance, which I was hoping to pick up some boots because boots are obviously selling really well right now, but ended up picking, you know, more sneakers, flats, etc. and sandals, which is good because we'll be in spring soon enough. But anyways, these sneakers I loved. I would have loved to find some Sorel boots, but these Sorel sneakers are super cute with this really thick platform. They are a size 9. These are called, I think, the Kinetic Renegade shoe, and they had them marked down to $56.97, which means I got them for $34.18. I would then have to sell them for $85.45. which I think is doable based off comps. This wouldn't be my home run sale. I might have to take a little bit less, I don't know, but maybe not. First, Sorel sneakers are kind of all over the place and there weren't a ton of this particular style that I could go off of. But if I sold it for $85, I would have an expected profit of $33.82 and an expected profit margin of 39.79%. So if I don't keep them, I still think they should do pretty well. Okay, there was a time period where I had a ton of these shoes and they sold so well. So when I came across them, At Nordstrom, I decided, let's see if I have the same luck. This is Superga. Super thick wedge along the bottom here. They're also a size 9 or size 40 rather. And according to the sticker, these shoes retail for 85 bucks, but they had them marked down to $24.97. The name of this particular style is called the Superga 2790 Tank COTW. I don't know what that stands for. But I was able to get them for $14.98. So actually a really good price, which means that I would have to sell them for $37.45. I should be able to sell them for at least 40 bucks. So I put an expected sales price of 40 bucks. This kind of particular style was a little bit all over the place, but since these are brand new, at least 40 bucks, which would leave me with an expected profit of $17.02 and expected profit margin of 42.55%. Okay, so those are the shoes that I got. Let's move on to the clothes. This dress, okay, first of all, the beautiful thing about this dress is that what they had it marked down to on the tag and what it actually came out to on my receipt when I was going through it afterward, I got it for way cheaper than I anticipated. So that is a wonderful thing. But this dress actually does really well. Comps look great for this dress. I'm really excited to see how it does. But this is another Reformation dress. See, it says $74.97. But when I was checking my receipt, because I was able to match it, because they actually put the style name on the receipt, this is the Reformation Humphrey dress, I got it for $26.99, which is obviously much lower than what 40% off of 75 bucks is. So, very happy with that. This is a size 12, and I will say that in my experience anyway, smaller sizes by Reformation tend to do better, but not always. So I'm still excited to see how it does. So with the cost of goods of $26.99, I'd have to sell it for $67.48 in order to hit that 40% profit margin goal. But I actually, based off comps, think I should be able to sell it for $135, which would leave me with an expected profit of $81.01. Wonderful. And an expected profit margin of 60.01%. So very happy with that. Okay, I have another Reformation piece. I love this dress. I am tempted to keep it. It's a maxi dress in this really cute vintage inspired floral print. This is a size 6 and they had it marked down to $61.97. It is called the Reformation Ciatta dress, or Ciatta, C-I-A-T-T-A. And I got it for $37.18 with that 40% off. And so I'd have to sell it for $92.95. Based off comps, I think I should be able to get 100 bucks. So that would leave me with an expected profit of $42.82 and an expected profit margin of 42.82%. Not too shabby. We'll see how it does. All right, the next is a brand I love selling. It doesn't sell for as much as it used to. I think I said that last time. I recently found this brand actually at the thrift store, which was really exciting. I'll link that up on the screen in case you missed it. But I love this brand, Faithful the brand. And it has 2 L's in the Faithful. This is a really, really cute mini dress. This kind of 3/4 sleeve, and it has a tie on the waist and a button front detail. And of course, they are really kind of known for this vintage inspired floral prints. This is a size small, yes, and it is called the Palmero mini dress in Zoella floral. They had it marked down to $44.96, which means I got it for $26.98, which is pretty good. And I would have to sell it for $67.45. I think I should be able to sell it for at least 75 bucks, but we will see. Hopefully it does well, you know, once warmer weather hits. And that would leave me with an expected profit of $33.02 and expected profit margin of 44.03%. So really, really, really cute. Okay, the next piece is hopefully my big home run. I was very happy to find this dress. This is a gorgeous sequins beaded La Femme dress. I talked about La Femme, or I should say gown. I talked about La Femme in that formal wear video, but these more intricate pieces by La Femme can do really, really well. They're great for mother of the bride dresses, or, you know, grandmothers, or just any kind of special event. They're really, really pretty. And this particular dress I was able to purchase for $47.24, which is one of the more expensive pieces on this list, but really this dress, I hope and think it's gonna do well. I would have to sell it for $118.10 if I wanted to make that 40% profit margin goal, but I should be able to go above that and sell it for around $200. So I put $200 as my expected sales price, and that's supported by my experience of selling these types of dresses as well. And they sell on Poshmark, eBay, Tradesy, everywhere. And so that would leave me with an expected profit of $112.76, which is really exciting, and an expected profit margin of 56.38%. So hopefully we'll see how this does, but it's a really great color. It's a really great size. I can't remember, it's a larger size. It's a really great color in this midnight blue. It's a really great size, it's size 18. So fingers crossed, we'll see how it does. Okay, this next purchase, again, like my other Legion's purchase, these are called the Runefeld shorts. And actually, I had purchased these exact shorts in a different wash, I think, on ThredUp before, and they had sold so quickly, used, for 50 bucks. So when I saw these marked down so low, I of course checked comps, but decided to get them. And I think since then, potentially, you know, they might sell new a tag for less than they would have then, but I still think they're gonna perform well. I got these shorts for $16.79. So with that cost of good, I would have to sell it for $41.98 in order to hit that 40% profit margin goal. But I actually have an expected sales price of $50 for these shorts. Could go for more, could go for less. We will just have to wait and see. But if I sold them for 50 bucks, I would have an expected profit of $23.21 and an expected profit margin of 46.42%. So not too bad. Okay, the last two pieces from my Nordstrom Rack Black Friday haul are both maternity denim, and they are by the brand 1822 Denim, which is a brand I would never pick up really, except for the maternity jeans. I would probably even pick these up in a thrift store, but new a tag, I know from my experience with liquidation, tends to do really well. But new a tag, of course, does even better. So I got one for $8.99 after the 40% off, and that would mean I'd have to sell it for $22.48. That were these black jeans. They're size 28. And my expected sales price I put at 30 based on my experience selling 1822 maternity denim, which would give me an expected profit of $15.01 and expected profit margin of 50.03%. And then the other one is a capri blue jean in a size 25, and I got those for $7.79, and I would need to sell it for $19.48 in order to hit my profit margin goal, but I again think it's going to sell for $30. So that would leave me with an expected profit of $16.21 and an expected profit margin of 54.03%. So also, these types of jeans sell really quickly for me. So I decided, hey, for $9 and $8, I'm definitely gonna pick them up, and I think they should do pretty well. So overall, I wanna go over my totals with y'all. I spent on these 33 items $813.22. My expected total sales from all of them is $2,560. My expected profit is $1,251.78, and my expected profit margin is 48.36% on average. So, very happy with what I found. I didn't go crazy. I bought 33 really good pieces that I had checked comps on and feel pretty good about. I had some really good home runs. Some I get to kind of experiment with and see how they do. And some brands that I just really love selling. So, let me know in the comments down below. Did you do any retail arbitrage for Black Friday? What was your favorite find from your experience this year? And what was your favorite find from what I picked up at Nordstrom Rack? Alright y'all, I hope that you found this video helpful, fun, informative. Make sure to give it a big old thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Alright, love y'all. Bye!